Iran. Striking an optimistic tone more than 6 months after the start of military action, the president said, "It will all work out. It always works out." Iran's foreign minister, however, told reporters yesterday there's no possibility of kickstarting negotiations until the Islamic Republic is compensated for what he called U.S. violations of the Memorandum of Understanding. Todd Blanche will be sworn in today as the nation's next U.S. Attorney General. The Senate narrowly confirmed the acting AG by a 50-49 vote over the weekend after weeks of debate with a handful of Republicans in opposition. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez isn't ruling out a run for president or Senate in 2028.
I haven't ruled out the possibility, and I'm very humbled to the tremendous amount of support out there.
She was pressed about her future plans on Sunday during ABC's This Week, but sidestepped the issue, saying she's focused on winning the midterms and running for Congress right now. The Gann fire in Northern California is now 72% contained after burning over 10,000 acres and killing one person. More from Tammy Trujillo.
Fire activity is now minimal and crews are starting to focus on mop-up operations. Firefighters will be aided by slightly cooler weather that begins today and continues through the week. A 65-year-old man is facing charges for allegedly starting the fire. Herbert Wayne Smith says he was cutting scrap metal when that fire started a week ago. 8 years ago, he pleaded no contest in another case where he started a fire.
S&P 500 futures are inching higher. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street in Woonsocket. This is ON AM and FM.
WOON Woonsocket.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann here on ON Radio, Monday morning, August the 10th. Thanks for joining us. It is Victory Day in the state of Rhode Island. I'm Joe Callahan, and that's John Ward right over there. Hey there, John.
Good morning, everybody.
How are you today?
Good, Joe.
Good. Nice to have you with us. And Dave Richards is here as well. Hey, Dave.
Hi, Joe.
All right.
Good morning. Lovely day.
Lovely day. Yep. And notes can be called in 766-1240. First thing I want to start off with is, congratulations. Tough weekend for the Lincoln Little League youngsters who went to Connecticut and lost two games, and they will not be moving on to Williamsport.
Oh, wow.
And they went on. They had to play in Connecticut and New York. And why? It makes sense to somebody. I don't know who, but why Rhode Island plays in the Metro Division and not the New England Division? That changed a few years ago. So it's Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then New England is Mass, Maine, New Hampshire,
Well, the
Vermont.
rumor I heard is that Rhode Island was winning too many times.
Really?
No, there's a theory in all of sports.
Coming out of New England,
if you
winning
do very
often?
well, they change your standings so that there's some sort of a equilibrium going on, and that Rhode Island had won too many times in Little League, so they put them in a tougher division.
Well,
it happens all the time in the interscholastic league.
True.
As far as the divisions,
just doesn't make sense. But it makes sense to somebody in Williamsport, is what it does.
But eventually you're playing against the winner from that division, even if you're in the other division, right?
Well, yeah, if you win the Metro Division, you'll go down to
easier to get
Williamsport,
eliminated.
And eventually you may play the winner from New England.
Right.
Or California, or, they split them up.
That happened before.
And it does. So,
they can change that. All they have to do is get the federal government and the multiple states of New England to decide that the state of New England should become one state.
We should be one state.
I know.
You go right ahead and have fun with that. But the very next question that's asked is which state takes over all the others?
Well,
who's in charge? Right.
Boston has to become the capital of the state.
It doesn't.
Oh, you would think so?
No, it doesn't. New York City's not the capital of New York.
Well, that's a good point, but I'm looking at all...
Detroit's not the capital of Michigan.
But if you look at the 6 capitals of New England...
Chicago is not the capital of Illinois.
And Disneyland is not the capital
of
California. Or
Los
in Florida
Angeles or
with Disney
San
World.
Francisco.
But I'm looking at the six capitals of the states now. Which one would I pick to be the capital of New England? I would go with Boston.
Worcester.
Yeah, Worcester, centrally located, got a road system.
True. All right, anyway, let's move on to something even more controversial.
It's got a ballpark.
How about this?
It's got our ball team.
Today's Victory Day. We're the last state to celebrate Victory Day. Should we get rid of it?
Couldn't we get through this one more time without this discussion?
I looked at it today. We don't celebrate any other end of a war. And if there's any war we should celebrate the end of, should be the Revolutionary War.
Joe, correct yourself here. Commemorate, not celebrate.
It's celebrate. But anyway, if anything, we should celebrate the end of us beating the British. And we should be celebrating every September 3rd. Because 1783, because I looked it up, when did the Revolutionary War end?
But don't we instead celebrate the beginning as our Declaration of Independence?
We should change it. And every September 3rd, we should have, but that would coincide with Labor Day a few years. But that's not going to work out. But we don't celebrate any other end of a war. No World War I, although we did for a while, but that's just become Veterans Day. We don't celebrate the end of the Spanish-American War. We won that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the only thing I'd say about dropping Victory Day is,
what other day are you going to give the unions?
What are you going to give? What are you going to give as an alternate day off to all the union people? Right?
Look, I've just looked at the calendar. On August 3rd, which is last week, it just says Civic Holiday in Canada. There we go. Civic holiday
in Canada.
Yeah. I don't know what it entails or what it means in Canada, but I'm like, well, there you go.
Like Civic teachers' holiday. Orientation. You don't know what's going on, but all right.
Well, what's their Boxing Day anyway?
Well, that's an England
26th.
thing.
I know. What is that?
It's where the
26th
celebrated in Canada
of December. Yeah,
well, because
it's where
I don't know why we don't.
Gifts are given to non-family members. People who provide you services, like the postman and like that.
Okay.
And you give the butler and the maid the day off if you have one.
Okay.
Anyway,
if not, they already have.
If you drop one holiday in the state of Rhode Island,
give another one.
The unions are going to tell you, okay, what day off are you giving me because you owe me one. It has nothing to do with the holiday. It has to do with you owe me a day off.
My understanding is that this day in Rhode Island makes up for Patriots' Day in Massachusetts.
Well, how about, Mass always has tax-free weekend. Why don't we just have a tax-free weekend, too? And give us a day off.
They did.
No, that's Mass.
But it didn't work out.
Rhode Island should do
Rhode
it,
Island
too.
gave a tax-free. They did that once. They didn't repeat it.
Yes, they did once. Drop Victory Day and go back to turning Rhode Island Independence Day into a full state holiday.
Now, May the 4th, I could go for that.
I'm okay with that, too. Doesn't happen in August.
I mean, it's at least it's
May the 4th.
It's a proper
it means it affects your school calendar
as a
too.
basis for a holiday.
I would be okay with that. You get May 4th off. You don't get a day.
Type
off.
it up. I'll sign it.
You don't get a day in August. Sorry.
Let's call up Dan McKee and say, hey, it's like this.
Actually, I would not drop it as a school day though. I would turn it into a day where the entire day across all school grades K to 12 are dedicated to learning the history of the state of Rhode Island.
But you can't give a holiday and not have school be off.
Yeah, well, you can't do that with the kids to get the day off.
Then you change the nature of the holiday. It's a day off for everybody except
kids.
Schools.
And teachers.
And teachers. And bus drivers.
Now you're back to the union.
You're back, exactly.
They'll never go for it. Yeah.
What do you think AFT is going to say about that?
Write the law and use the word notwithstanding.
Okay. Well, today is also voter registration deadline, except you can't go to the town hall and city hall.
Well, you can't go to the Board of Canvassers office at City Hall. You can still walk by City Hall. And they have a collection point out there.
Okay. And you can go online. Vote.
We saw Gianna Savastano at the Levitt concert last Friday night. And I said, now you got to clear this up for me. What are we doing? She said, well, mostly it's a state thing. So you go to the state's website, vote, SOS, and like that. But she says, we also have stuff on our website, the city's website. Plus, we're a collection point, and there is a place out there you can just walk by and drop it in. Once you get the form off the website, you can drop it right in and meet the deadline.
Okay.
I read an interesting story related to voting and things like that. Is that RI Current, which is Rhode Island Current, is a digital news organization, nonprofit, and they do some good work. And Nancy Lavin is a great reporter and does great work. But they had an opinion piece from a representative from the Latino
community.
Latino group, I forget the name of the organization in the state, and it's an opinion piece about bemoaning the fact and pushing people who are Latin to wondering why there are not enough of them voting. They represent 20% of the population according to the census, the last census, and yet clearly they don't represent that kind of percentage in the voting registrations. And I'm reading it, and I'm just reading, and I don't see it mentioned, and I'm thinking, okay, this falls under the category of naive. That's because probably the highest percentage of non-citizen residents in the state of Rhode Island is Latinos. Duh. So while you're complaining that there's not enough of them voting, maybe it's that all of them are voting that are legally eligible.
It's the editorial version of figures lie and liars figure.
Yeah,
you can make
much.
An argument out of anything, whether it makes sense or not.
I mean, it's trying to make it. Fortunately, she wasn't claiming that we were somehow depriving them of rights.
Right.
At least she was promoting registration and voting among the Latino community, which is fine, but
there
don't
used to
make
be a
it
lot
seem
more
as if
promoting of
something
people
is-
being citizens when we were growing up, wasn't there?
What's that?
Wait, there was a lot more public movement toward trying to mobilize immigrants to become citizens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's almost as
Now
if
it's
they
just,
don't want
you're
you to.
not a citizen? Okay, fine.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Well, they use them for. I mean, I hate to say it, but the reason the extra effort was put into the census, and we were so welcoming to illegals.
Yeah.
Not only legals, but illegals. And I have no problem with legals, but they were promoting them coming into the state, and they were doing everything they could to get as many in here as possible, was to save our second congressional seat.
Right.
Because if they had not pushed for illegals to flood the state
just one congressman.
and counted them as residents, which is what the census is about, not about citizens, then we would have lost the congressional seat, which we may lose anyway in 2030. Unless we can get a Democrat elected president and flood the country again with another 20 million illegals.
All right, moving on from voter registration.
Before you continue, Joe,
Yeah.
we were remiss in the beginning of the program. We should have said, now you may be listening to the replay. This has no effect on you, but if you're listening live on Monday morning, today is the legal holiday. We started talking about that. The ramification is that Fabulous Denise is not at the switchboard taking telephone calls here, and the office is closed today because she has a good union. The thing is that I heard the phone ring, ran out there, but somebody hung up just as I
Missed
was
it
getting
by
there.
that much?
So if you really want to talk, you want to send in a message, I will leave the studio. I will go out and take your telephone call, but give me a little more time.
All right, very good.
And I understand the vote for her to join that union was unanimous.
Yeah, it certainly was.
1-0.
It only took one. It only took one.
All right, John, where do you stand on the whole flock camera issue? For or against?
Because you were off the council by the time it came to Woonsocket,
I
right?
am in favor of flock cameras.
Okay.
However, if the database, right now, the city collects the information and it is automatically linked to other cities in the state.
Right.
And to the state police because they have them too. And so that information, when there's a search for a vehicle registration, for good reason, criminal activity
Like it's been
and
stolen.
known,
Yeah, right.
it identifies location and they can apprehend people who have committed crimes more readily. Now, if that data is then shared through the flock programs to other organizations outside of the state or not related to criminal justice or public safety departments and is shared with agencies that are outside of that realm or purpose, take them all out.
Okay.
But that's not what was sold to us. What was sold to us is it was for public safety, and they have very rigid guidelines inside the
Of
police
who it goes
department.
to.
I know there are employees somewhere along in the country who will be abusing it using it to spy on their girlfriend and all that stuff. You know, those people should be fired. And unfortunately, unfortunately, the policies are such that it would go through a process of discipline that would give people rights to defend their action or only get a slap on the wrist. I don't believe in that situation, because the right of privacy is so important, and what it compromises in the trust people have in government. A person who would do that should be fired. They don't belong there. The regulations should be so rigid that nobody would ever dare compromise the integrity of the data in a system. And so if it's being done, the penalties should be harsh, and it should not be shared outside of its single public safety purpose. Okay. And if they're doing that, then get rid of them all, because it's not the system that they sold us.
All right. We bring it up because last week Narragansett decided we're going to get rid of them. I believe earlier this year, North Kingstown, I think, they decided to get rid of it. And now Gloucester has decided, get them out. And we're going to pay the penalty to get out of our contract early.
Yeah, I think they're reacting to social media mayhem.
Of course, yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of speculation about where the data is shared that may or may not be accurate. And so somebody needs to gather that factual data and challenge Flock to defend what they do, who the information is shared with, how they manage and control it, and protect it from hacking, and get real facts before goofy councils just start reacting to pressure from social media.
It's difficult. It's difficult to avoid the pressure of social media sometimes from especially town elected officials. We get that. But Chief Oates, John, was sitting in that very same chair you're using this morning, and we grilled him pretty good on this before Woonsocket voted. And he says, not only do we have all these things that I can go back and tell you which person entered the system, what they looked for, and what their results were at any time. Right. No one can get away with any tomfoolery here.
I have complete faith
he
in
assured
the system. And I would never have voted to support it until they showed us the policy that was going to protect the data and protect the people. And when they did, with assurance that it was going to be done properly, then I supported it, and I still support it if it's being done properly.
Okay, and we got a report from the police chief in Gloucester. He supports the camera. They said it's helped them with 50 cases since 2023. Oh, yeah. It's really helping.
It is
the police department.
Oh yeah, it's phenomenal.
I mean, you can't argue against that.
And they put the cameras in key locations at intersections where people are frequently using those.
Especially in small towns like Gloucester.
Yeah, but I mean, in Woonsocket, they're using it like Hamlet Avenue and Manville Road intersection, which is heavily traveled. They're using it up South Main Street as you come in and out of the city, up Park Avenue as you come in and out of the city. All these places for entering and leaving the city, which would be Manville Road, Park Avenue, South Main Street. Obviously, I don't think they have one at the top of Morse Avenue, but you can escape Woonsocket by using Morse Avenue. But, criminals aren't terribly smart people usually. They react with what they know, and it's limited, because otherwise they wouldn't be criminals.
All right, we're going to take a break on the Coffee and Program. More coming your way. We ask you to please stick around, calling comments and questions at 766-1240.
First news, best music. You're tuned to ON Radio.
Dean Bank of Bellingham and Blackstone presents another of America's greatest individuals in celebration of her 250th birthday. John Marshall was the fourth Chief Justice of the United States. He transformed the Supreme Court from a weak secondary branch into a co-equal one. A veteran of the Revolutionary War and a devoted Federalist, Marshall was appointed by John Adams in 1801, serving for a record 34 years. Marshall's greatest legacy is the establishment of judicial review. In the landmark case Marbury versus Madison in 1803, he boldly asserted the court has the power to strike down laws that violate the Constitution, famously stating it is emphatically the province and duty of the Judicial Department to say what the law is. The Marshall Court consistently strengthened the federal government with decisions like McCulloch versus Maryland and Gibbons versus Ogden ensured that federal law remained the supreme law of the land. Chief Justice Marshall ensured the Constitution would remain a flexible and living document. This profile of a great American has been presented by Dean Bank of Bellingham and Blackstone.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
We're local and live at 99.5 FM, ON, AM, and FM.
All right, Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan with John Ward and Dave Richards. We had a note called in, 766-1240.
I ran out and picked up the phone, Joe, and it had to do with our earlier discussion on you were questioning why the state of Rhode Island in Little League is in the Metro Division and not in New England Division. And the short answer is, look it up on Google because there's a big explanation, and it has to do with when they expanded from 16 to 20 teams in each division, and that they had a goal of trying to mix things up between the New England Division, the Metro Division, and the Mid-Atlantic Division.
Okay.
And to explain further, go look it up in your Funkin' Wagnall or the 21st century equivalent, which is Google. But no, seriously, they say the answer is there for you, and it does explain what the whole thing is.
But,
and that's what they had to say. So there was a good reason, I guess.
So there's 4 in New England, there's 4 in Metro. So is there 4 in the Mid-Atlantic? Does that make it Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia?
Okay, I took a message down. I can't be cross-examined on what this is hearsay, you say.
All right.
Can't cross-examine on hearsay, John.
All right. Well, we brought up the story on Friday because it just started on Friday, but we have it today as well, and it's the Woonsocket police arresting William Santiago Ramos and charged him with the murder of his 29-year-old pregnant girlfriend here in Woonsocket.
I will refer people to a really great story that Russ Olivo did in the Colin Times newspaper. I believe it's in Saturday's edition. They don't publish Sunday and Monday, so it's probably still there if you go there or pick up one of the printed editions from Saturday, I think it was, that was incredibly detailed, so much detailed that we had to really chop it down to get it on the radio. So a lot of the details that weren't in there was that he was pulled over and he was in trouble, and then they let him go, and then a car he was riding in got pulled over, and he was giving false name and things like that. And all of this, twice the cops had him before the body was discovered, and they had no idea, you see. All of that was earlier last week. So he was out on bail when they found on unrelated charges, including obstruction, on a routine police patrol, and thank God they do it, a routine police patrol, Woonsocket PD happened to notice him at River Island Park. Now, a lot of people, if you ever went to River Island Park, at any time during the summertime, any time of any day, you'll find people there. It's not just used for what we use it for on Friday nights or what they're going to do on Thursday night with the Prevention Coalition. Nice big thing there, a youth talent show. But so there's always a lot of people there when we go there to set up. There's some people that they say live there. I really don't know any better, but I can tell you that they had to put up signs near the stage to tell people, no, you can't be here. You can't stay here, so that the cops, if they found them there, they could do something about it. So so they see him, and they give chase, and he runs.
He jumps in the river.
Runs down the banking in back of the stage. Yeah, and swims across the river. And, of course, see, what he is not thinking about is that the cops have radios. And cars.
So standing on the other side.
Standing on the other side of the riverbank, on the front street side of the Blackstone River, are a bunch of Woonsocket Police Department operatives.
Remember what I said about criminals being dumb?
Well, some of it I think comes from a reaction as opposed to a thinking process. So you don't have to be dumb to run.
No, that's true.
But
and there's really nowhere else to run.
But at this time, he had to answer for the fact that they found his living girlfriend back at 104 Sale Street had been murdered.
And
and several days before.
Multiple
Well,
stab wounds.
I don't know whether Russ got this because I hadn't seen Saturday's paper, but I was reading this morning's Providence Journal article about it.
Oh,
where they have
okay.
an article, and it describes towards the end of the article that the parents thought she was living in Warren because that's where she said she had moved
been.
to.
Wow.
And he had been. There was a restraining order.
And he had a no contact order against him. He had been arrested before and charged and under a no contest plea.
With her?
He was
right.
He
She
was
had
required,
the order against him.
He was required to attend the non-violence training. Isn't that wonderful?
So she moved to Woonsocket, and he moved to Woonsocket.
Yeah.
And then they ended up in the same
parents,
apartment
the
together.
parents had no idea that she was still with
Right.
him at all.
Wow.
And, the father in the article in the Journal says this could have all been avoided. Well, yeah, that's called using prison system instead of soft pedaling everything and giving Buddy a pat on the head and saying, go get some counseling. It'll make you better.
Go sit in a classroom for 3 hours and you'll be fine.
BS.
All right. Well, they got him now, and he's not taking any classes. He's done.
No.
He's done at the ACI. He's being held without bail. So yay for that.
Plus, I mean, I would not be surprised if it was a double murder charge against them after
Probably.
they sift this through, because all they have to be able to prove in court is that he knew that she was pregnant.
Why do they have to prove that?
Because then he would know that he's killing two people if he kills her.
But if you, Dave, did it and didn't know she was pregnant, you're still killing two people.
Well, I know, but you can't charge him for intentionally killing two people if he only knew that he was
Okay.
killing one.
Okay, it's murder on one, manslaughter on the other.
Okay, might be.
Yeah,
I'm not
okay.
a prosecutor, but I know that these things are discussed.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's just say thank God we don't have elected judges like they have out in some of the Midwestern states, where where it would be to his benefit to be an illegal alien, where they would just let him out.
For murder charge, though?
I'm sorry, they'd give him 3 years.
Oh, all right. We'll get to the. We're going to get
John.
to the.
It's just my cynicism
that's just
about
your
the system.
cynical sense of humor, right? We get that.
We want to get to John and talk about.
But it's not really funny. It's sad.
It
But
is.
they
Of
do
course
it.
it is.
They do it. That's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have slammed
We
the
do
table.
want to. We do want to get to.
Sorry, radio folks. I should not have slammed the table.
We do want to get to the Attorney General.
Oh yeah, you were in the Valley Breeze last week.
We don't have enough time to start it just yet. So
That's right.
We're gonna wait on that in just a minute.
Just
Lou didn't have this.
wait till the evening before we light the fireworks.
Yeah. Lou didn't have this in his sports, but I don't know if you heard over the weekend, but five-time Boston Celtic champion Don Nelson passed away.
Yeah.
He was 86 years old. He played 11 seasons as a forward for the Celtics and later spent 31 seasons coaching. Didn't he coach? Yeah. I thought he coached the Celtics for a while. I
think he coached everybody for a while. But I mean, that's what, 42 years total?
Yeah.
Not counting the years he used to get prepared to go to the Celtics. So that is a lifetime given to basketball.
He retired as the league's winningest coach. I think he's the second winningest now. It's dropped down. And he was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame out there in Springfield in 2012. And his number 19 has been retired by the Boston Celtics. So,
yeah, that's a lifetime.
He had a good
That's
run.
given everything to basketball.
It sure is. And up in Massachusetts, Samora Healy signed a couple of things, including we got to take over the Norwood Hospital. It's just sitting there, doing nothing. They tried to rebuild it after the floods, and then whoever was taking over said, "We're leaving."
So what's the state going to do except
eminent domain?
Spend a ton of money on it.
Yeah, well, they said it's got to go. Something's got to happen. Something's going to move forward. The owner's not selling it. He's not building, so they want to take it over, and then they'll try and sell it. So that's
Well, I don't know about
had
that.
to sign on.
If it's in the floodplain, it's going to be difficult to sell. I picture a smaller use, perhaps, of the portions of the building that are not necessarily, in danger of being flooded, and then public park for the rest of it. That's what governments do, isn't it?
Well, yes, for the most part. I mean, how deep does the flooding come? You know,
I don't know if they're in a floodplain.
I've driven across along the coast in Bonita, heading up towards Fort Myers, and I look at the hurricane protection design requirements for housing there.
Yeah.
And as you now drive, when you see the new houses that were untouched by the last hurricane, it's because the only thing that's on the ground level up to about a 12-foot level is air and garage.
Yeah.
Everything above that is where people live. And funny thing, when all the other houses were being swept away in the last hurricane, all that happened there was water came rushing through and went back, and the house was still standing intact on steel basis. So, yeah, they could figure out what to do with the lower levels that have nothing of consequence, and then do something at this higher levels.
Yeah,
I don't know how
lesser
tall
use.
this building is, but
Well,
it might have
the
usable...
original one was down on the ground, and that's why it got flooded.
Oh.
The new one, and I have been by it a couple of times, it's built up on girders, so this won't happen again.
Oh, so it's already accommodating flooding.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So what's the problem? Why isn't
They've-
somebody fixing it?
I don't know. There's just a big fence around it, and everything is just stopped.
Maybe, just maybe, it's regulations.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it's federal regulations that will cost millions to do something that shouldn't be costing millions, or state regulations, and maybe Maura Healey needs to look at the regulations instead of thinking about buying it.
Well, she wants to just take it over by eminent domain and then
And
find
then-
a buyer. That's her plan. I guess that's her plan.
Yeah. And maybe there won't be a buyer because of the regulations.
Maybe not. All right, break time here on the Coffee and program. So more coming up. It's time for the forecast, being brought to you by Mattress Warehouse of Providence.
Sunny skies today with a high near 89 degrees and a calm wind. Tonight, a chance of showers between 10 and 11 p.m., mostly cloudy skies all night, gradually becoming mostly clear in the wee hours, overnight low of 67. Tuesday's weather, sunny and a high of 85 degrees. Wednesday, sunshine and 85 again. Thursday, 50-50 chance of showers, but partial sunshine as well with a high of 84. Friday looks like a nice sunny day with a high near 79 degrees and a breeze from the west. On Saturday, sunshine and 79, and Sunday, sunshine and 79 again.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, mostly sunny skies, 71 degrees.
Get the lowest prices of the season during the Mattress Warehouse Labor Day sale. Save up to 70% on best-selling mattresses, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy purchases. Visit mattresswarehouse.com.
Leprozera and La Procina Title and Escrow Services, LLC of Pawtucket, presents another important date in America's history in celebration of her 250th birthday. After the American Revolution ended in 1783, the new United States faced the challenge of protecting its independence while rebuilding the nation. Many leaders feared maintaining a large standing army, but they also understood the country needed a trained military for defense and frontier security. Under the new Constitution, Congress gained the power to raise and support armed forces. To some, it seemed like a technicality, but on September 29th, in 1789, President George Washington succeeded in getting the first Congress to recognize the U.S. Army under the terms of the new Constitution. The United States Army, established to defend the nation and maintain order, had former Revolutionary War soldiers helping to form the early Army. It created the foundation for a permanent military force that would continue to grow alongside the young United States. This important day in America's history has been presented by Leprozera La Procina Title and Escrow Services, LLC of Pawtucket.
For over 70 years, the Eston Richard Insurance Agency has built trust and a customer base unrivaled by other agencies. Frank Richard knew that to continue that kind of service and growth into the future, the right decision was to join World Insurance Associates, now located at 24 Albion Road in Lincoln. You can still call the same familiar Woonsocket telephone number, 766-4200. For our customers in nearby Massachusetts, you could reach out to World in Lincoln or at Foy Insurance, 154 West Street in Milford at 473-4747. World Insurance has the size and strength to keep you protected in today's world. And with more than 20 offices in southern New England alone, there's a World location near you no matter where you're listening to me. World Insurance in Lincoln. It's where Eston and Richard people are. Same familiar phone number, 766-4200.
Here we are on the Coffee and program. Thanks for joining us on this Victory Day. I'm Joe Callahan, along with Dave Richards.
Hi.
And John Ward is here. All right, John, get ready. Valley Breeze newspaper article. I'm sure you've read it. Attorney General Peter Nerona's office responded to 2 complaints over access to public records, expressing serious concerns over the city of Woonsocket's failure to respond to requests, while also finding that officials were guilty of violations in both cases. One of those complaints was submitted by you, John, and you submitted a public records request to the city seeking records referenced in the Woonsocket single audit for fiscal year 2023.
I remember when he mentioned it on the air that he did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so now that Peter Nerona has come down against the city, John, have you even received it yet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
I
had received it a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
I was not expecting it would turn into a news article.
Okay.
Just like when I did receive timely the Bob Murrow settlement with the Housing Authority, and I spoke of that, and that showed up as an article a few weeks later also.
Things worked out okay for Bob on that, huh?
But in any case, in that case, I actually copied the Attorney General on my request that there is a public record request system in the city's website through the city clerk's office, which, by the way, is where public record requests should go, because
to the city clerk.
By charter, the city clerk is the repository of all public records for the city,
exactly,
not the solicitor's office.
Right.
The reason the solicitor's office has taken control of it is because too often things that are not pure public record, requiring redactions, or are not a public record, were leaking out to people, and they needed some control over it. So the solicitor now handles all public records, which is a mistake.
In your opinion?
In my opinion. Mm-hmm. Well, I know it's a mistake because ever since the solicitor's office has been doing it, he has not had the time in his day or the staffing to deal with them all.
To get to it, yeah.
To get to it.
And that's why
it's simply
delays?
Volume overwhelming capacity. And so the solution to that problem is a simple one. And it was being discussed before
give the city clerk a legal budget.
The last election. There's 2 things missing. One is, well, I'll take this even further back. When Lisa Baldelli Hilton was first elected and I was unelected, I had breakfast with her one day, and she was asking me questions about things that I thought were important, and I gave her frank answers. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I told her was critically important to the city's long-term success was, in establishing a tax assessor, you should have a deputy tax assessor who should have an assessor training them up to be prepared to take over. Because things happen. People move. It's a short supply job. You need people ready to step into the role, because somebody's going to try to steal your tax assessor with money. Mm-hmm. Happens all the time. Same thing. That's why you have deputy finance directors. That's why, and the one thing you don't have too here is a deputy city clerk. The city needs a deputy city clerk, a person who is responsible and fully trained and is working towards certification to be a city clerk. And that was being discussed before the last election, and of course it never happened because...
Money?
No.
No?
No, it's not money.
Because not
It's
everything that
focus.
should happen can happen.
It's focus on what's important inside City Hall to make it run properly. That has been the lowest priority on this administration's totem pole, in my opinion, and it was going to be a much higher priority for me to be more responsive to the public in areas such as this. And it would have been to create a deputy city clerk position who would be training to become a city clerk, who would be responsible for triaging all public record requests, because the record requests only come through the clerk's office, but they're filled by the various departments that produce the information. Mm-hmm. So this person needs to send the request out to the department that it applies to, so that they can give back the information and let them know, because the town clerk in Lincoln did this properly and still does. When she gets a public record request, it goes to the department and all the department heads so that they can know if they're a part of it. Mm-hmm. And she gives you 5 days to respond. And she's following up. Where's the response? I need the response. The 10 days is almost up. Tell me if it's going to take more. If we need to tell people, to give them the 28-day extension.
Okay.
So it's a role you have to play, and you have to manage it diligently. Otherwise, you get this.
Right.
And the solicitor still doesn't have time to do it because now that he's not negotiating with Narragansett Bay Commission, not that he was directly because that had been given to other people, he's got so many other things going on with litigation and other things. Also trying to actually, I think, act as the chief of staff in City Hall to try to manage City Hall. He just doesn't have the time. And things like this get
I didn't
dropped.
realize that's what it came down to, a matter of time. I just thought that
that's all it is.
I just thought you were being ignored.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not about
It's
being
just we just don't
ignored.
have
It's
time to
just
get
there's
to
not
it.
enough hours in a day.
Wow. Okay.
And,
Same thing with
and
Gregory
It's not
Rice's
going to be
issue?
solved. Yeah, Gregory Rice has the same
I
problem.
think it's just a matter of time.
And there are many
Okay.
others there are many people who stopped trying to get public information because
We just never get it.
you just never get it. I actually have a request out there that's still never been responded to. I know some gadflies who have requested information never been responded to, and it is public record, but it's never been responded to because the public record in this case was text messages between a former council president and a former mayor. And it's like, that's a really heavy lift to
Oh,
do
yeah.
that kind
How
of
do you
thing.
get that?
But it's public record because in their communications with each other as public officials, it's a record. So you would have to get them to surrender it, or you would have to go to their service provider to get the record provided. And it would be an expensive proposition and time-consuming, but nobody's ever responded, and even the AG's office has never responded to the complaint that apparently has been filed. So, yeah, it's an ongoing problem that I don't see a solution for unless they change the dynamics.
So to sum up,
how
then,
the city addresses it as a priority in their day-to-day activities.
Okay.
So to sum up, John, I'll just ask you whether you agree or disagree with this statement. Someone picks up the Valley Breeze newspaper, reads this thing, and they're thinking that there's all kinds of evil going on here. You would say it's not evil, it's just...
Incompetence.
You just... Okay.
I mean, incompetence in the sense...
I didn't finish my statement for you to agree with, but okay.
Well, I knew you weren't going to use that word. So
No, I
wanted to
wouldn't.
throw it in.
Is it disorganization and not incompetence?
It's a lack of skill at establishing systems
Okay.
that function automatically and effectively. It's design work. You know, a lot of people can know how to do things, but if they don't know how to design the systems that will function properly, then doing things is always playing catch up. And I don't mean Heinz.
Right.
It's just simply never quite figuring out how to structure the system so it's
Right.
effectively utilized.
So it's not evil.
It's not evil. It's not
Okay.
intentional.
It's important to me because I love my city and I want people to think well of it. And yeah, we hang our dirty laundry out in the front window, like, but the facts is that some people just love to have something on you.
Oh yeah. No,
They love to think about, oh gee, was the fixes in and all the rest of
No.
this sort of thing. But it isn't that.
I've had many conversations with Mike Lipizzaner about this stuff.
Yeah.
He knows what I think the solution is and was being discussed. This was my plan going into City Hall, was to fight hard to get a deputy city clerk so that they
going
could
back,
manage.
just to clarify, you did run for mayor once.
Yes.
Had you been
I
mayor, these are
elected,
things you would have worked on?
I would have been fighting as hard as I could to get a deputy city clerk so that they would be in their job required to be training up to become a city clerk in case when the city clerk retires, and she will eventually.
Well,
she's not exactly
everybody
26. She's been doing it a long time. And so when she retires, there is nobody to step into the role right now.
Right.
You need that.
But is there money in the budget for this kind of position?
You make it in the budget. You put it in the budget.
Because
you
it's that
find
important,
somewhere that's
right?
less important because
Okay.
this is important.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Just
All about priorities, you're saying.
it's about
Well,
priorities.
Yeah.
And this is important not just to the people asking for public records, but it's important to the integrity of the system and the city's reputation.
Does Lincoln have it when you were working there?
At what?
A deputy.
A deputy
clerk.
a deputy town clerk? Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Just double checking. All right, moving on to other things. We had a
let's move on to something else here.
We had a serious motorcycle crash.
Well, we almost took up a full quarter hour.
Almost. Serious motorcycle crash in Pawtucket between a motorcycle and a pickup truck. Pickup truck won, and like
Always
they usually do in these things. It happened in George Bennett Highway. We always called it the Industrial Highway down there. When I was down there in Pawtucket,
I didn't know it had a name. Besides Industrial Highway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's because it's a lot of industrial on it.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And a railroad track.
And a railroad track. I don't know who George Bennett is, but that's.
And there used to be a baseball field there, too.
Yeah, there used to be. I understand they're building a high school now. The motorcycle operator is being treated for life-threatening injuries, so that's a shame. Police say the pickup driver was not injured and is cooperating with the accident investigation. It just says it involved a motorcycle and a pickup truck. It doesn't say who hit who in this case. But that's what happened on Sunday morning in Pawtucket. All right, break time here on the Coffee and Program, and we'll take another break, and then back with more. Comments, questions can still be called in at 766-1240.
First news, best music. This is ON Radio.
Hey, this is Lauren. And a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's going to add the protein that you need. The eggs with those crispy nuggets. It's the ultimate combo.
Hi, this is Maya, and a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's packed with protein. Having Chick-fil-A chicken in a breakfast burrito is just phenomenal to me. You have the chicken, you have the eggs, and then you add these hash browns. It's just complete, honestly.
Order the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in-store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
We're delighted so many of you are enjoying our Levitt concerts on radio and TV. But come to the park for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to Six Flags New England Amusement Park. To win, you must go to the Friday night concert. Take a picture of yourself having fun at the concert. Post that picture to your social media pages using the caption #MusicMoves. Then show your post to Amy at the merch tent during the concert. Everyone who does this will receive a chance in the drawing for the 4 Six Flag tickets each week. Winner announced on stage at the end of the concert. You don't need to be in the park for the drawing, but you must be in the park at some time during the concert to win the tickets to Six Flags, courtesy of ON Radio and TV.
Blackstone Valley's ON Radio.
Here we are on the Coffee and Program. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan here with John Ward and Dave Richards. And we'll be giving away another 4-pack of tickets on Friday night at Levitt.
Yeah.
To Six Flags.
Very excited about that.
Was the winner in the park this past Friday, Dave?
I didn't see that they were this time.
Okay.
No.
Sometimes they're there.
Well, they
John,
might have been in the back, but, it's a very quick thing.
Yeah.
If they're not near the stage, we don't see them. Twice we saw, and they were near the stage.
Oh,
and,
when they won?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're very, very happy and pleased about that. But they do the drawing at the end of the concert, and maybe somebody's already gone home, and then they win. But I noticed one thing. We had a lot more entries this past Friday than any of the previous weeks.
Great.
This is built up over the season.
Well, that's super.
People getting the word on this. This is very nice.
And this is really cool what's happening on Friday, because we have a man he's from Lawrence, Massachusetts, but he's got Dominican Republic heritage, and we're broadcasting
His dad's from the DR.
We're broadcasting the concert back to the DR.
Yeah, Dominican Republic. Yeah,
from us.
They have a national network, a TV network.
That's so cool.
When Big Papi goes home, he can listen to it.
And
he's not getting shot. Yes.
Luciano and I had met this past spring, and knowing that this was coming up, Luciano runs the network down there. He is the father-in-law of our next-door neighbor, so I just happened to be on a visit. And he mentioned what he did, and he was kind of interested in what we were doing and all the rest of that sort of thing. So I told him about that, and then he says, if you've got something you think that the folks back on the island would like. And we talked about it, and he said, that guy, he's had a hit record down here, #1.
Okay.
So
Dominic Marte.
Yeah, right. That's exactly it. And so we're very excited. The entire 90-minute section with Dominic will be broadcast in the Dominican Republic. So we have to send the signal not only around here on Woonie TV, but it also has to go to the folks in Santo Domingo, and then it goes from there across the entire. Well, not the entire island, because it got Haiti on part of it.
Haiti
It's
on
not,
the other side.
It stops at the border.
It doesn't,
Haiti's on the
cross
west-
the mountains, does it?
2/3 of the island of Hispaniola is Dominican Republic. So it goes over 2/3 of the island, because the other one's a different country. And they speak French, not Spanish over there, so it wouldn't do anything for them.
That's right. Okay.
So, but anyway, we're very excited about that. And the folks in Los Angeles at the Levitt Foundation, who give us that $25,000 to seed money every year for us to put this thing on, they are just gaga about the whole thing. They say, "Oh, look! Talk about reaching out and being inclusive."
Technically,
and stuff
you've now
like
gone international.
No, we've gone international.
Yes.
Woonie
so cool.
TV, 6 weeks into Woonie TV's existence, it goes international. So that's not bad, and like that. Of course, we have to give them a clean feed, so the Woonie logo will not be on the bottom of the screen.
Boo hiss.
We have to give them a clean feed, because they have other things they have to put on their screen, and in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing there. So it'll all be kind of cool.
I think so.
I've done these sorts of things before with Ballard Ship and some pretty technical wraparounds and do things. But this one's going to work out pretty nicely, we think.
All right, great. Well, if you got some cash hanging around, an estate once owned by Alex Trebek, host of Jeopardy, is up for auction. Windmill Farms is a 700-acre winery in Paso Robles, California. The listing price is $33 million.
Oh,
but it's a bargain. An opening bid starts at $15 million, so you can get it for less.
sounds like it's right in Ilhan Omar's wheelhouse.
Yes, the bidding closes on August the 15th, which is the end of the week, and the auction is part of R.M. Sotheby's stage at Monterey Car Week. So maybe Steve Peluso will be out there bidding on Alex's.
I think some of those cars are a bit rich for Steve's blood. I've seen the auctions on TV. What's that?
Nancy Pelosi?
Oh, could be. You
Expand
never know.
their empire.
You never know about that. That's very nice. And by the way, just let me show off for half a second over here.
Okay.
Alex Trebek is the way that the United States people always pronounce it. Back in Canada, where he was born, it's Trebek.
Is it?
Yeah.
He always said it as Trebek, though.
Trebek. You say it fast.
But he always
it's like Woonsocket and Woonsocket.
But he always pronounces Trebek.
Trebek.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
This is just a bizarre.
That's how he introduced himself to me.
I don't know if you know who this person is. You probably don't. But the family of Perez Hilton says the celebrity blogger is in serious condition at a Florida hospital and will require surgery. He was rushed to the hospital last week after he was live streaming on TikTok. Because that's what these people do. He was live streaming on TikTok and appeared to show him covered in blood and cutting himself with a knife.
Yeah.
I guess it was his own blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it got away from him.
Yep.
And
now he has to have surgery.
Now, on Saturday, his family released a statement on Hilton's website saying he experienced significant blood loss and sustained injuries that will require surgery in the coming days. And it said his treatment and recovery will be a long process. So what was the point of him showing him cutting himself on TikTok?
Fulfilling the description of what Mama always said from Tom Hanks' statement. Mama says,
"Stupid is as stupid
does.
does.
Is as stupid does."
Watch me.
I thought he was going to do the thing about the chocolates.
I can't even imagine what goes through the head of these people who do TikTok videos and some of the stunts they do.
Well, what I hear is making money. It's got nothing to do with cutting yourself, which is good. But people film themselves doing
stupid things.
This isn't even stupid. Doing daily chores.
Yeah.
Here I am.
And people watch it.
Washing my dishes. Not using a dishwasher.
I saw a TikTok video that didn't
and
go
people
well.
Watch that
because I know there's people that collect the ones that go wrong, and there was the video of a guy that he was intending to do a live thing on TikTok, and you know what he did? He was hanging himself above a barrel, head down, and he dropped himself into the water.
In the barrel?
Into the barrel.
Doing a Harry Houdini impersonation?
Never considered the fact that he wouldn't be able to turn his full body around to get back up, and he drowned.
Oh,
wow.
I mean, but they do these things with no planning, no thought, and you end up with people ignorant of professionals doing things that are done in planned ways where they know the risks and they know how to avoid death. I mean, even Evel Knievel now seems like a rank amateur compared to these jumpers
I
now,
guess so.
because he would put himself in a position where he didn't think it out well enough to not fall down and break every bone in his body. And you see these guys now doing twice as much as he did, and they land, boom, perfect every time, because they just know the science of it. But he was knowing the salesmanship of it without knowing the science of it.
Yeah.
What's even funnier now is that Geico has decided to use this whole TikTok thing in one of their commercials with Dr. Rick, showing it's being tough to turn into your parents. I don't know if you've seen this one. And they got the 4 people,
That's
the homeowners.
Progressive.
Is
Dr.
it progressive?
Rick is progressive,
Okay. Watching an influencer, and they say, well, what do? Well, I film myself going to stores and trying on hats. And that's it. And the homeowners are like, and people watch you do this? Yes. Why? I don't know. they just do.
Yeah,
I don't get it. So
yeah.
All right. Anyway,
well, listen. Don't worry about a thing. The world gets crazier and crazier every day, and they'll get it all out of the system. Eventually, somebody gets sensible, and that'll be the new thing to do.
I mean,
Okay.
as an example of how it can be done successfully, and this is one that's, I think it's done strategically. There's this couple out of New Zealand. I don't know if you've ever tripped into them in social media, Facebook. It's Mike and Joelle.
Yes.
Yes, where
telling jokes.
They play jokes, and they show
film
her
her
reaction
laughing.
to
Yeah.
them. But
Those are funny, though.
She is also an influencer herself because
She
she
is?
does health and wellness
Well,
stuff.
she's in incredibly good
That's-
shape, and she's
But
always working
she
out.
does workouts. She's a boxer.
Yeah.
She does all kinds of things in her own social media influence realm. So they're
I
very
didn't know that.
rich
Okay.
off of nothing but social media. But the husband simply walks around filming her while jokes are being played,
And not his jokes. They're
no,
other-
these
they're
are other
real
jokes,
comedians'
recorded
jokes.
comedians' jokes,
And just getting her
and then
reaction to
her
them.
reaction to
Yeah.
them. And of course, like you say, she's in great shape. She's really good looking. So of course, people will watch it because they're looking at a good-looking woman, and she's reacting very normally.
Yes.
Like normal human beings would. And they're very nice people, I'm sure. But they make a whole career out of doing nothing but social media. And it can work.
That's something. Wow.
But they don't jump off buildings or do
Well,
bungee
no, they don't.
jumping.
They don't do anything that's going to harm themselves or anybody else. So, all right. Well, no surprise here. Taylor Swift says President Trump cannot use her music on his social media.
Well, pardon me while I fall asleep.
2 Taylor Swift songs had been used on Trump's videos on TikTok this past week. Swift has posted in the past on social media that she does not support Trump as our president. Trump responded last year in all capital letters, "I hate Taylor Swift." He then went on to congratulate her then engagements to Travis Kelce last year and called Kelce a great guy and Swift a terrific person.
That sounds like Trump.
Did anybody catch this whole thing when I said it on the air this morning? Maybe it's a holiday, so not everybody's getting up as early. I had something on the air today. It was on this date in 1922. Former President Trump answering questions.
2022.
Yeah,
You said 1922.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear me say
I don't
that.
think he was
Yeah,
born
it is.
then.
Yes, 20. You're right. 2022. You're right. Sorry, mistake. It was on this date in 22.
There you go.
Get me that time. That former President Trump invoked the Fifth Amendment 450 times with the New York Attorney General's office in a deposition.
On his business practices, right?
450 times. And they want to fry Fauci for 100.
But
there's a difference.
Fauci did it after a full pardon was granted to him for the time period they were questioning. Trump was never under a pardon from anybody.
Yeah. Okay.
He was
that
at
clears
risk.
that up. I just said, isn't that interesting how this came around? 450 for the boss, 100 for them, and they still after his hide.
They also accumulated a set of misdemeanors to combine them into a thing called a felony, in order to charge him. Otherwise, they wouldn't have had no jurisdiction in charging him.
Right.
So they created.
That's right.
They're
still out to get him.
They did a quilt of misdemeanors to create what they labeled a felony in order to just because they were out to get him.
A quilt?
Well, that's
Congress can do this.
Yeah, I guess so.
They make the rules.
All right, Dave. How's the? Are we looking at cloudy nights for the next couple of nights?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Oh, too bad. The heavens are putting on a show this week as the Perseid meteor shower reaches its peak this week. It happens as Earth passes through the trail of debris left behind by the Swift-Tuttle comet. Is that the Taylor Swift Tuttle?
No.
Oh, okay. Debris that burns up.
And it's not the Jonathan Swift either.
No?
No. No, that will be the peak. But you can see it tonight.
Okay.
Tomorrow night.
The peak, the best time to watch will be overnight Wednesday, August 12th through Thursday, August 13th.
Because it's a new moon.
New moon offers darker skies.
Right. But it's going to be cloudy.
Too bad.
I just thought of something we didn't discuss, but something to think about by everybody out there, because I know how much you discuss sports. You didn't discuss the WNBA and the two retired basketball players.
This is too funny.
That are declaring themselves transgender in order to be eligible for the WNBA draft, and now the WNBA is forced into responding to it. And every article I've ever read about this whole thing over the last 3 days has it that there's no easy out
I bet there
for
is
the WNBA here. Because they're all so busy declaring that they support transgender women, and the regulations that they write are so loose that all it requires is a declaration. And so, what do they do now? We briefly mentioned Trump and Iran, and the fact that Iran seems to be outflanking Trump, maneuvering them.
Yeah.
It's like WNBA seems like they're in a similar situation that Trump is with Iran. It's like there's no easy solution here.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Oh man, if they end up drafting these guys,
they can't. Come on,
you can't do it.
You
You're
can't.
right.
I mean, that's like the guy runs. What's the kick something sports?
Kickboxing?
No. Kick. It's a sports thing that I'll think of it. But he wants to actually put a new team in the NBA that is made entirely of transgender athletes, and
you can't. You got to put two teams in.
No, we'll play against the women.
No, as a women's team in the WNBA.
Yeah, just made up of all transgender.
He wants to enter a team, and then the other thing he did was he offered $10 million to the championship WNBA team if they will play against his choice high school all-state champion basketball team. And if the NBA team wins, he'll give them the $10 million. If the high school players win, he'll give each of the players the share of the $10 million. And the proceeds from the broadcast of it will go to Tunnel to Towers. So he's taken out all the personal
gain,
money making from it, and all donation, all charity, and he's waiting for them to respond.
Alrighty.
I don't think they will.
Probably not.
Winning that game, if you'll forgive the expression.
All right, we've come to the end of the program. Thanks very much for listening in. As always, John Ward, thanks for being here.
Oh, it's been fun.
All right, and Dave Richards, thanks for being here.
I reiterate what Mr. Ward just said. It has been fun. And if you missed any portion of our program this morning, you can pick it up on demand at WoonSocketRadio.com or WooneyTV.com. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Very good. This is Joe Callahan, and enjoy the...
don't forget Tiki tonight at 5 o'clock.
Tiki Bar at 5 o'clock tonight. Be listening in.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Rounds of severe storms are set to bear down on millions across the Midwest and Great Lakes this week. More from Mark Mayfield.
Starting Monday, a level 2 out of 5 severe storm threat is covering major cities, including Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. Damaging winds are expected to be the primary hazard. Widespread rain totals of up to 3 inches could also be seen across the region as the week moves forward. Localized pockets of 3 to 5 inches of rain are possible.
President Trump says the